delegates from the different parts of the country. Myself, Dr. Hood. My topic is the effect of inorganic and biofertilizer on growth and yield of the garlic. And it is a very preliminary investigation just carried out by our MSc students during his dissertation work. The main target is that to reduce the doses of the inorganic fertilizers with the biofertilizers. All of you know the important garlic is the important crop. The garlic is an important bulgur spices next to onion, and India ranks the second after the China in both agricultural productions. It is highly accepted for the flavor enhancing capacity. The significance of these spices is increasing owing to its wide range of the medicinal properties like controlling of the blood pressure, blood sugar, breathing problems, cancer, epilepsy, etc. It is a rich source of the vitamins, proteins, and the minerals. It has good export potential as fresh bulk as well as in the form of the dehydrated products. It is a rich source of the highly bioavailable selenium, which is thought to account for the garlic antioxidant and cancer preventive effect. Garlic possesses insecticidal, repellent, and antifungal, antibacterial properties. Now, what is the background for undertaking such type of the investigation? Plant nutrition is one of the key factors enhancing the growth and yield of the crop plants. Consistent and indiscriminate use of the chemical fertilizer has caused the serious damage to the soil and the ecology. Global awareness of the health and environment issues have been growing up, and sustainability has become the key word in the discussions and the economic development. This situation emphasized the need for developing the alternative production system that are eco-friendlier, is more judicious in managing the soil health. Now the biofertilizer. Biofertilizers are the preparations containing the life and latent cells of the efficient strain of the microorganisms. It may be biologically nitrogen fixer, phosphate solubilizers, and potassium mobilizer. It have ability to mobilize the nutritionally important element from the non-usable to usable form through biological process. Thus, biofertilizer offers an economically attractive and ecologically sustainable means of reducing external inputs and improving the soil health. Moreover, biofertilizers are cost effective and a renewable source of the plant nutrients. Objectives of the study is to assess the efficiency of the biofertilizer with graded levels of the inorganic fertilizers on growth and yield of the garlic. This is the methodology. Now we are presenting that is the experimental site is that we are conducting this experiment at our horticulture research stations situated at the Mandori, Vidhanchal Krishi Vishwavidyalaya. It is in the West Bengal. Soil types is the loamy soil, pH is the 6.6 around. Growing seasons is the Rabi seasons. And cultivar we are using the Korki is the local cultivars. Number of treatments is the 30, and it is designed in the RBD. Spacing is the 20 cm by 15 cm. Number of plants per plot it is the 100, and time of planting and the time of harvesting is the middle of October and end of March respectively. Doses of the FOM is the 20 tons per hectare, and doses of the fertilizers, that is the NPK, it is the 150 to 125 and 150 NPK. This is the treatment details. We are using the cycle treatments. Out of this, from 1 to 4, we are using the NPK 100%. In addition to that, we want to use the combinations of the different fertilizers, different biofertilizers. That is 3 types of the biofertilizers we are using. One is the phosphatic, another is the potash, and another is the nitrogen. And the first one is the azotobacter plus VAM plus potassium mobilizer, and second treatment is the azotobacter plus PHP plus VAM. Third is the azospirillum VAM plus potassium mobilizer, and fourth one is the azospirillum plus PHP plus potassium. In the 5th to 8th treatment, we are using the same combinations of the biofertilizers, but only the reduction in the inorganic doses. That is, it is the 75% inorganic, and from the 9th to 12th treatment, it is the 50% of the inorganic we are using, and the same treatment, same combinations of the biofertilizers we are using. And last one is the NPK 100%. This is the strength of the microorganisms used. We are collecting the biofertilizer from our nodule research laboratory situated at the same institute. That is the nitrogen fixation. It is the Azospirillum leucophora, Azotobacter corcocum, and FAM is the Glomus fasciculatum. EHB, phosphate soluble bacteria, is the Bacillus polymixa, and potassic solubilizer, it is the Prachuria aurantia. Then the time of applications of the inputs. Generally, biofertilizers we are using the dose that is the recognized by our research laboratory. It is the 6 gram per plot, that is 2 gram per square meter area, with the 250 grams of the oil-latent carbon manure. And inorganic, we are using the 3 weeks after applications of the biofertilizers, and the second dose we are using the 65 days after planting. And irrigations, first irrigations we are giving just immediately after planting, and then subsequently 15 days interval, as depending upon the situations of the soil conditions. This is the general pictures of the field, and there is a different. We are collected the 10 numbers of the plants randomly from the each plots, and different growth and yield parameters we are recorded. But when we calculated the projected yield, then we considered the 75% area of. This is the different growth parameters. So this is the plant height and the number of leaves. We are taking these observations at the 65 days, 60, 90, and 120 days after planting. The maximum height at 120 DAP, it is the NPK 100%, Azotobacter plus PHB plus potassium mobilizer combinations. But in the number of the leaves at 120 DAP, it is the NPK plus Azospirillum PHB plus potassium mobilizer. This is the graphical presentations of the various and number of the roots, bulboid and polar diameter is maximum value. We have observed in the NPK plus Azospirillum plus PHB plus potassium mobilizer, but equatorial diameter it is maximum is the NPK 100% plus Azotobacter plus FAM plus potassium mobilizer. Then it is the neck thickness, number of cloves per bulb, cloves per bulb, plot yield, and the projected yield. That is the weight of cloves, the plot yield, and projected yield. It is maximum is the NPK, Azospirillum PHB plus potassium mobilizer combination. This is the economics or the cost-benefit ratio of the different treatments. Here the gross return, net returns, and VC ratio is the maximum with the NPK plus Azospirillum plus PHB plus potassium mobilizer, and the different cost of the inputs and selling price also presented. This is the saline findings. Saline findings with the NPK 100% plus Azotobacter plus FAM plus potassium mobilizer, they give the maximum polar diameter and neck thickness. But NPK 100%, Azospirillum plus FAM plus potassium mobilizer, they give the number of cloves maximum per bulb. NPK 100%, Azotobacter plus PHB plus potassium mobilizer, they give the maximum plant height and root length. But NPK 100%, Azospirillum plus PHB plus potassium mobilizer, they give the maximum number of the leaves, number of roots, bulb weight, equatorial diameter, flow weight, plot yield, and projected yield, and the VCU. And this treatment gives the best treatment, followed by the NPK 100%, Azotobacter plus PHB plus potassium mobilizer is the second best treatment. And this is the vegetative growth at the 90 DAP and the 120 DAP. And this is the bulb under the different treatments. Conclusion from the both yield maximization and VC point of benefit cost point of view, the most effective treatment here was the NPK 100%, Azospirillum plus PHB plus potassium mobilizer, followed by NPK 100%, Azotobacter plus PHB plus potassium mobilizer. The favorable effect of the biofertilizer over the recommended dose of the NPK was observed. The results also indicate that there is a chance of the reductions of the 25% inorganic fertilizer through the applications of the